All right. What is up, Fearless Money Journeyers? Welcome to today's live training. We are talking about whether you are intentional or impulsive. How do you make money decisions? So, oh my gosh, it's yelling at me because I have so many browser tabs open. So give me just a sec to close some stuff because it's like I can't function. There's too many tabs open. Okay, there we go. Too funny. It's like you're experiencing performance issues. Beautiful. Okay, so today we are talking about intentionality versus impulsivity. How do you know which one you're using? And how do you make sure you're using the one you want to be using, right? So if you are jumping on, if you're on live or if you're watching the replay, say hi and let me know if you feel as though you are more intentional or more impulsive when it comes to your money. I'd like to know what you think about your own experience with making money decisions. And also just say hi. I want to know you're here. So, one of the things that I have said a lot in the past couple of weeks and want to just say again here is people will say that they feel really impulsive. Oh, I just keep making these impulsive decisions, impulsive decisions. I'm just so impulsive. But then as I start to learn kind of how they're managing their money and what they're thinking about when it comes to their money, I realize that they don't have any kind of plan. And so, how are they really defining impulsive? And turns out the way that they're defining impulsive on their end is basically any purchase they make that wasn't planned well in advance and or came with some guilt or shame. So they didn't plan in advance and there was some guilt or shame around it. And therefore it felt impulsive. And it's really interesting because then I asked, well, do you plan what to do with your money every month? No. Okay, so then technically, if you don't have a plan for your money, then technically isn't every decision impulsive? Really? Think about it. If impulsivity is defined by money that you spent that you didn't plan to spend, but you don't actually plan what you're going to do with your money in general, then isn't every decision impulsive? And you might say, well, paying my bills isn't impulsive. Well, kind of it is. It's like, oh, shoot, that bill's due. Let me go pay it. Something comes up and you go and do it, right? Something comes up, something happens. You get an email that a bill is due. You get a bill in the mail, right? Someone says, hey, let's go out to lunch. Husband says, hey, we're out of milk. Things happen and you go and take care of them, right? It's reactionary. Impulsivity, any kind of impulsive decisions are reactionary. Something happens and you react, and then it involves spending money. Again, this could be, oh, we're out of milk. You go to the grocery store to get milk and you also get 5 other things, right? Unplanned, therefore feels impulsive. So, my argument here is if there was never a plan, isn't everything impulsive? So, therefore, logically speaking, wouldn't making a plan help you to not be as impulsive? Now, are there people who have a plan and truly had a plan and then went against it and that's impulsive? Yeah. And so you get to recognize those things. But if you don't first start by intentionally creating a plan for your money, intentionally writing out a grocery list, intentionally knowing what bills need to be paid and when, intentionally planning and giving every single dollar an assignment in the month. If you don't first intentionally sit down and create a plan, then every single dollar you spend is going to feel like an impulse. So, how do we build intentionality into our money decisions? How do we avoid impulsivity, true impulsivity? We make a plan. You sit down, you write out your how much you have coming in, what your major expenses are, your major prioritized expenses, and you give every single dollar you have an assignment. This is my simple budgeting strategy. If you go back through events and look simple budget method, you can literally just use the search function in the group and look for simple budget method. It's literally, it's a 6-step process. Keep it simple, write your income at the top, make a list of expenses, prioritize them, look at each month individually so that you're considering what's actually happening that month, and every dollar gets an assignment. It's super easy. But if you don't first create that plan, you're always going to feel like you're being impulsive because there wasn't a plan. So be intentional and create a plan for your money. That can involve creating a plan for that individual month, right? So looking at April, what has to happen in April? What has to happen with the money that's coming in, and creating a plan overall. That could mean creating a plan for what you're going to buy when you go to the store. What specifically are you going to buy? You could even say, okay, I'm going to go get some new clothes today and I'm not going to spend more than $75. So you have a plan for specifically what you're going to spend. But here's the thing, stuff does happen. Things do come up, right? And so how can you build intentionality in even when things come up? Well, if you've made a list of your expense categories and you have put them in priority order, then you can intentionally shift money around. Mindfully and intentionally shift money around. If you go, oh, this thing happened, I really do need to make sure that gets taken care of. You go do that thing and you intentionally know where the money needs to come from because you have a list of your prioritized expenses. You know what's at the bottom of the list. And therefore, you can mindfully and intentionally make adjustments because life does happen. You will never be able to perfectly plan for every single penny and have it go exactly as you originally planned it. It just won't. However, because you have had an intentional and mindful plan to begin with, you can more easily and intentionally make adjustments when things happen. Where you will lean into impulsivity is where there is absolutely no plan to begin with. If you don't have a plan, if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't have an intention, whether it's an intention for the month, an intention for the year, an intention for your entire financial plan, an intention for that shopping trip, if there is not intentionality built into things that you're doing, everything will feel impulsive. It's just true. This is one of the major things that we talk about inside of Intuitive Money Mastery is this idea that by building mindfulness and intentionality into what's going on, by giving yourself grace in those moments, by having awareness around what's really happening with your money, those moments that would have felt super guilt-ridden and super shameful before because they felt impulsive, now get reframed around the intentionality that you're building into your money. Something happens, something comes up, money gets spent, and you go, it's okay. I moved the money from here to here. This had to be covered. This was a higher priority. Okay, I feel good about that. Was it the original plan? No, but I was mindful and intentional about making the shift. I was mindful and intentional about what needed to be adjusted and where. I was acutely aware of what was a priority and what was not a priority. I was acutely aware of what was honoring my true desires versus what was doing things that other people were telling me that I should do, right? When you can build those things, those mindset principles wrapped around the proven financial strategies, and you get to combine mindset and strategy in your financial plan, the difference that it creates in terms of how you feel about your money is literally night and day. And this is why I really talk about financial fulfillment more than financial freedom, because it's not about having $1 million net worth, and it's not about having the perfect numbers matching up. It's about the fact that you can make decisions about your money and feel really good about them, regardless of what the actual decisions are, right? So build intentionality into your money plan. Build intentionality into your system and into your decision making by having a plan, whether it's this plan for the small moments or a plan for the bigger picture. That is how you can make sure that you're being intentional and avoiding the impulsivity. Okay, I hope that was helpful. Again, inside of Intuitive Money Mastery, we dive really deep into this stuff. We dive really deep into how to know what your priorities are, how to build that mindfulness and intentionality, not only into your money mindset, but also into your actual money system, because it's important that it permeates all of the things that you're doing, because intentionality is the key to financial fulfillment. So Intuitive Money Mastery is open. It is always open. There are always spots available. There is none of this like scarcity, like only 2 spots. Nope, I don't play that game. When you want in, you come hang out with us. We do bi-monthly co-working sessions, we do monthly training, we do monthly group coaching. And tonight is actually our group coaching call. So tonight at 8:30 p.m. inside of Intuitive Money Mastery, we are jumping on a group Zoom call where we are going to talk about a little bit more about intentionality and awareness when it comes to goal setting. And we're also just going to let people ask their questions and like, where are they at? And we get to do some coaching through those things. So if you haven't grabbed your spot in Intuitive Money Mastery yet and you want it, I'm going to drop the link in the comments right now. And I will also go back and edit this video so that it will be in the description of the video. But basically, it's just you go to NicoleWeaver.com and click the button at the front, or you can, I always have to look to make sure I spelled everything right. Click the link that I just put in the comments and grab your spot. It is only $97 a month. Come whenever you're ready. Stay as long as you like. All right. I hope that was helpful for you guys. Again, this idea of impulsivity when you didn't even have a plan to begin with, get a plan. Start there. Start building that intentionality into your system, right? As always, love you guys. Have a fantastic week. As always, trust yourselves and enjoy the journey. See y'all later.